Hey guys, so I went with a live review because I didn't get any responses on the other video. So I think if I don't end up getting any live responses, I'm gonna go with just this normal route, which is just doing this live. It was a lot. It was a lot of fun. I thought I had helped out a lot, and I did correct some of my mistakes in this, and I'm going to add another thing at the end of the video, which is just something small, something simple. But yeah, I would love to get more responses just to do VODs straight up, but I would like to do this live stuff too. I feel like I could do both just in case I don't get responses, or if I want to do live VOD reviews, I feel like that'd be a really cool idea. But yeah, if you guys do want me to review your VODs, I will have a link in the description. There's also the other video that you can go check out, which is just saying the same thing. I have VOD reviews. I will have a link in the description for the form that you can fill out, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. I'm going to have these videos out every Thursday with the live stream on Twitch Friday, and then the regular video Saturday.
Hello.
Hello.
Yo.
What's up?
What's up?
Just so we're clear, are you okay with this going on YouTube?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. So, what's your issue, man? What are you having trouble with?
Well, I just struggled to. Well, I managed to climb out of silver myself, and now I'm just kind of staying in gold, really. And I'm just not really getting anywhere.
All right. So, here's what we have. Imagine this as a regular comp game. We don't want to think of it as a quick play game. So, for right now, we have a pretty decent comp. We have Nanoblade, we have Orisa Hog, we have Doomfist, we have Moira. This is actually a really, really good comp, especially for quick play. This is awesome. What they have is kind of a dive going on here. They have Hanzo, they have Genji, they even have the Ana for the long distance heals, Lucio. Pretty much dive. So what we want to do is we pretty much want to stop them in their tracks. We don't have anything, we don't have any CC abilities. We don't have anything to really stop them from doing anything besides Doomfist's punch. So what you want to do is you want to help your Genji and your Doom as much as possible. By that, I'm meaning pulling for punches, pulling for Nanoblade to pull them all together, all that fun stuff. Same thing with Hog. Hog, the pull hook combo is still a viable thing. And if you can talk with your Hog and learn and sync up with him in order to do those pull hook combos, those are going to be great for you, especially around corners or above Orisa shields. Not that anybody plays Orisa Hog anymore, but it's gold. So yeah, so comms are always great. You just don't want to have your teammates tilt, and you don't want to tilt. That's one of the biggest things. You start to tilt, you're going to start losing games. You don't want your teammates tilt, or else they're not going to do as much.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's pretty much unavoidable. That's a feels bad. You do... I don't even know where he came in from, so let me just back up real quick. So this was pretty unlucky, to be honest.
Yeah.
So you do have to be aware of this stuff, obviously. Hammond on this map is pretty good. If you do have the reaction time, you can use your, people call it gold sometimes, but you can use your fortify to stop any sort of momentum. So this would be a perfect moment to use it if you had the reaction time. I'm doing some type of thing here. I don't even know what that is. But I'd say this is just an unlucky, to be honest, because we didn't know their comps, and you couldn't have really done much there. So it's just a feels bad. So we're dying, we're respawning. Now we're up 2, which is good. Okay, so you get booped. No idea where the Lucio is. What's your sensitivity at?
Probably about 25, 30.
I thought it was a lot higher, to be honest. Okay.
No.
Okay, so here's one thing that you can do. Obviously, Lucio is a bit harder of a target to hit. I would just say do your best to use your pull to get him off of things like walls and stuff that he's wall riding on to make him a lot easier target to hit. Same thing with Ball. If Ball is rolling around, especially if he's slept and you wake him up, you obviously want to time it with your Ana or whoever else is trying to kill him. Because if your Ana sleeps him, you typically would want to go, all right, ready? 1, 2, 3, to get all of the burst damage in before they wake up and before they can do anything about being slept. So one thing you want to do is if it's a bigger target like Hammond, while he's slept and after you do the countdown, you want to pull him back to where he can't go anywhere pretty much, so that gives you more of a chance to kill him instead of just letting him roll away and getting away scot-free. This is fine shield placement. One thing I do want to note though is that Hammond's main purpose is to annoy the hell out of you. His main purpose is to also mess up your backline. So I do appreciate you trying to go for your backline. That's good, but you are the main tank. If you're the main tank, you want to let your off tank and your DPS help with the backline instead of worrying about Hammond. Hammond's going to get messed up. You already saw that he was wicked low health rolling in anyway. So it's best to, if he's not shooting you, if he's going for your backline and you have the rest of your team behind you, just ignore him. You have everybody else, Genji, you have Winston, you're going to have Hanzo focusing both the Ana and the soldier over here. You have everybody else coming in trying to contest point. Don't worry about him because he's just, his main purpose is just to be like, hey, look at me, I'm over here.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. It's fine because he dies, but whatever. Actually, that wasn't a bad pull because he was, it looked like he was about to jump, that he was trying to use his jump to get away. One thing you could do is try to focus the Ana since you did see she was really, really low health. But it was a good pull that you did in order to stop the Winston from jumping. You always want to stop any movement abilities, especially things like escape abilities, so they can get away. You don't want that to happen. Alright, so right here, you would want to not set up on point. I know they have a Lucio, so you might want to play back probably around here, so you're not playing right on bridge and get booped over. You would probably want to play somewhere around here, so you can see their main. You can see where they're going, especially if they're going over to White Room, that little area over there. And you can see if anybody's trying to do a flank from White Room and get a little bit of poke damage off, do a little damage before they get to you guys, because obviously I don't want you setting up right next to the bridge because Lucio's just being annoying.
Yeah.
Trying to take care of Lucio. Don't know where he is. Okay, so we see that Lucio is coming up through here. You don't see him, which is fine. I think I call him out and trying to shoot him. This is fine. Again, don't worry about your back line. Worry about the front line. You want to be there to block off anybody who's trying to push while the back line is going through. Yeah, see. So now you know that he's going through there. So if you do get caught in a dragon, Fortified, I'm pretty sure Fortified does reduce the amount of damage you take, so you can try to fortify to get out of the dragon. You didn't really need it, but if you're like in the middle of a dragon, fortify immediately so you can try to get out of it without taking too much damage.
Yeah.
That pull wasn't bad. You definitely could have gone for the Ana though, because she is pretty much being uncontested while everybody else is going through. Soldier does catch on, though, and tries to fight Genji and Ana. But this is a really good spot for Orisa, since she can pull off of here, or she can pull off of here, and you can get a ton of kills with that kind of stuff. That wasn't bad. You had the right idea. And then they win the point. Okay, so you do put your shield up a little bit quicker, which isn't a bad idea, especially since you can see both the Lucio and the enemy Winston right in front of you. But typically, what you would want to do is... Whoa. What is happening? Alright, I guess I'm just in your face now. But typically, you do want to get closer to the point. I will allow this since everybody's really split. You have people who are already up to your front line, so this isn't a bad shield placement, to be honest. Hammond being annoying. Here's another thing you can do. In order to protect any of your backline from being punched, what I want you to do is I want you to fortify and take that punch with brute force. What you can do is literally just walk in front of the Doomfist and be like, hey, punch me, idiot, and then fortify. He will not move you. He will waste one of his abilities on you, which means he can't get a 300 damage punch onto your backline, whoever it is, your healer, your DPS who's hiding behind your shield. You take that punch, and then he has to use his other 2 abilities to either engage you, which is his fault if he does, because then you can just pull him to the ground when he tries to either uppercut or slam and then kill him, or he has to escape, and then you can pull him from escaping and kill him.
Yeah.
So you're pretty good against a Doomfist like that. Another thing, just to fortify. He's going for me, strangely enough. Comes back. Good kill on him. Pushing up to point. Okay, so at this point... Why does that keep happening? Alright, so at this point, I'd say that... Actually, give me a second. Because I want to know if this team fight was won or not. So, even if you're still, like, not okay with comms yet, a big thing that you can do in order to get used to it is just start counting. And by counting, I mean, if you are in a team fight and somebody dies on their team, 6v5. Easy as that. You're not comfortable, you have a problem with talking with people because they're tilting, just start counting. 5v5. Still a winnable game. 4v5. This fight is now lost. 5 versus 3 people. You have 2 tanks, you have no healers, you have 1 DPS. This fight is lost. I would say either press the middle button in order to check who is dead and who's not, or you could literally just look up on the top right, hey, we have 3 people. They have both healers, both tanks, and a DPS. We should probably back out and regroup. Or else you're just feeding them ultimate, especially because Genji's behind you, feeding off of you his blade. And you don't realize it till just now, and then he kills you. Well, ball rolls over you. So Genji is pretty rough against you. The big thing that you want to do is don't freak out. Again, use your pull to make sure he's not above you. If he's above you, you have no idea what you're doing. He's going to jump over you. He's going to slash through you. His main goal is to stay above you so you can't shoot him. So pull him down to the ground to try and get him to stop messing around with you, and you can shoot him a lot easier, and your team will shoot him a lot easier since he is not jumping over you. And the dumb thing is, both our Moira and our Roadhog go in by themselves. So at this point, just be like, hey, we need to regroup. We need to stay together. We get a good pick on the Genji. We get 2 good picks. So now, since we're all respawning and they've lost 2 people, we could push in on this.
Yeah.
3 people. 6 versus 3. Honestly, this is where you aggressively throw your shield and just maul through them, because you have the advantage. You can pull this Zen too. If you pull this Zen to try and make sure he lessens his escape, that would help out the Doom, because then he could get a good punch off. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to screw up Doomfist's punch. So be careful when you do use Halt, because if you use Halt and Doomfist is going for a target and you move the target and save him, he's going to flame you. He's going to be very angry, and you're going to be like, that was dumb. That was really dumb.
Yeah.
And you're just going to do worse. Because you're like, wow, that was stupid. I shouldn't be playing. You're just going to get in your head. You don't want to get in your head. this is good. You're using your Fortify to stop him from running over you. You want to limit his mobility as much as possible. Yeah, see. Oh, this was good. That was pretty good. You stopped him from hitting the hog. When he does do his meteor strike, what you can do is you can put down your shield and just try to shield dance.
Yeah.
So when he slams, if you're on the one side of the shield, most of your teammates can use it too for shield dancing. He won't do as much damage, especially since he hits the shield. His main thing is going to be, hey, I'm going to hit the most people in this one area as possible. That's why Orisa is so good with Doomfist, because you could combo by saying, hey, I'm going to pull wherever the team is. I'm going to pull main. Doomfist ults. You say pulling now. You pull. All of them are in one spot, and then Doomfist just kills them all. Didn't need to use Fortify there. There wasn't really anything going on. Alright, so one thing I do want to mention is when Ball is doing this stupid thing that he does and just zooming around point, you kind of just want to back off point a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to give the point up to Hammond since he's just knocking everybody off. You want to try and back up a little bit because all he's going to be doing is spinning around. You really don't have to worry about him because he's not doing anything besides spinning around the point. He's like, hey, get off my point. So you could literally just sit here, kill the rest of their team while Hammond's doing literally nothing, and take out... It's basically a 6v5 at this point. Hammond's just spinning around point. What is he going to do? You have to walk up to him in order for him to get value. So you could just sit there, kill the rest of their team. It'd be an easy win for you. Now, you do have bongos, so when you do die... I want to see how you use bongo. So this fight is almost winnable, maybe, if we get a kill. No. Okay, it's definitely not winnable. You kind of just want to stick together, regroup. Genji's bullying you. This is insane because Hog, I think, gets 2. I think he gets 3. No, Moira gets another one. So this was fine. Okay, so there, I'd say you were just confused. You had no idea who to shoot, where to go. Again, you could just sit pretty much right here, actually on point, since they are starting to hold point and just contest. What I want you to do is you can try to focus the tanks as much as you can, but they have a lot of mobility, especially Lucio. Lucio has a lot of mobility. This guy right here, he just floats around all the place. So you are going to try and kill their least mobile hero to get a lot more value than you think, especially since they just lost Transcendence. They were going to lose Discord, which does double damage. You want to eliminate probably one of their biggest threats, which is the double damage that they're getting from the Discord orb. You have to value your targets and focus targets. By focusing targets, you want everybody to try and shoot the same target, or else you're not going to get any kills. If Doomfist is trying to kill the monkey while you're trying to kill the Zen, while I'm trying to kill the Lucio, it's just not going to work out, and you're going to lose the team fight pretty much every time. Yeah, your shield placement on point, not the greatest, since all they have to do is, well, confuse you, which they did. They're all over here. You have... Wait, is everybody else respawning? Oh, we have 2 people respawning. Hammond just died. Doomfist is going to come back. You're a sitting duck on point because Winston can shoot through shields. You have the Zen who had the Discord orb on you, and you had no idea where to shoot. Okay, so now we're in overtime. Soldier's getting good kills. This is the point where I would probably... No, you probably don't need to use Vongo here, to be honest. And we kept point for free, which is good. So yeah, another thing that you would want to do, since you knew Genji is so low, you can try to pull him around the corner and get that extra damage off to kill him.
Yeah.
Same thing with Lucio, since you both know. Okay, so this is a good shield placement. You want to try and be up on their front line as much as possible. That's a good hook by Hog. Lucio's trying to be annoying. You pull him down, which is fine. You don't want him to get any kills, because if he gets kills, then he can just chain his dash over and over again. And that's pretty much a team wipe if he can get a kill. Alright, at this point we want to touch. So if you are somewhere around like 99%, or they are, and you know you're not going to get back in time with Bongo, switch to Hammond. Switch to Hammond. If the other person switches to Hammond, switch to Winston. Somebody with a lot of mobility so you can try to stall for as long as possible. Most of the time it doesn't work, but it does, because there's a lot faster heroes. Like Genji can be a bit of a good one. Doomfist is a really good one. Tracer, people like Lucio and Moira. Faster heroes, just so you can try as much as you can to draw it out.
Yeah.
But we lose this one. Not a big deal. You don't want to get discouraged, especially if they win one time. Like, if they get it all the way, like Cart. If they get Cart all the way to the end, not a big deal. You still have the rest of the game to play. I hate people who will play the game, and if the other team takes a point, they just quit. They're like, you know what? We lost. I'm done. And you're like, no, we still have the rest of the game to play. There is still so much more that could happen. Even though you think your team's trash, trust me, there have been some times where you will think your team is trash. But don't focus on them. You need to focus on yourself. What can I do to change the game?
Yeah.
Because if you just focus on your teammates, you're never going to climb. Yeah, this was a bit of an issue. You tried to pull him off, which was okay, because that would have gotten him a kill. But you do also have to be careful of people booping you off the side, which is what got him player of the game. This is why going coast can be a bit of a rough one for these types of maps. Like, even, especially playing Ilios playing Orisa is a bit rough, because Lucio loves Ilios and will get so many environmental kills on Ilios.
Yeah.
So this is fine. We all group up. Everybody drops down, and you kind of drop your shield early. So the thing is, there is nobody here. I think there was just the Genji who was there, and you drop your shield there. So if you're not communicating with your team, stuff like this happens all the time, so it's pretty rough. You can't do anything there since we weren't in comms, and it's just quick play, so nobody cares. But you have to be aware. Putting your shield here does nothing, because there's nobody here. Everybody's on point. If everybody's going coast, and we just died to we got 3 deaths off of coast, you might want to communicate with your team, hey, we died last time that way. They're probably going to do the same thing again. Let's not go coast. But luckily we get through here, I think. Oh yes, you can also try to bait out Flashbang. Since they do have a McCree now, you can try to bait out Flashbang with Fortify, since he won't stun you. Same thing with like Brig Bash, Reinhardt's Charge, you know, all that fun stuff. That's a bit rough, because we did have the big shield in the way, and we couldn't really push through. Orisa is typically more of a mid-range character, so you want to try to stick to that range, especially since they do have a Winston. Winston is primarily close range, so you definitely want to go this way, because this way is a lot better for you to handle. That's not bad. You can... It's actually not a bad shield placement, because what you did right there was put down my shield. My shield is still usable both ways, right? I can still stand here, even though it's curved like this and it's meant to be stood around like this, so you can, you know, aim through all the ways. You'd still use this quite often, where you can place down your shield in front of you and then kind of just shield dance around the person who's trying to shoot you from behind, and your teammates can do the same thing. So that's actually not a bad idea. So yeah, that's not a bad idea. The best thing about Overwatch is that you have natural cover. Natural cover blocks everything. So standing behind a pillar in order to block McCree's ultimate is good. Get a kill onto the Lucio, and they stun you from behind. So I would say try to focus down Monkey first, but you can't do anything if you're standing here and Monkey's standing here, because his Tesla cannon goes through shields. You have everybody else shooting behind you, so there is no point standing behind the shield when you're getting hit from both directions. I would push up to him and try to shoot him in the face, kill him, turn around, you still have the shield in front of you, and you're not getting shot from behind. It makes it a lot easier for your team, because they don't have the Monkey in front of them, and they can still use the shield. Well, he probably could have put shield more towards middle, but, you know, what can you do? Monkey's still alive, too, so that's another player in the game who's making it very difficult for everybody else, because he's just putting down bubbles and hitting everyone with the Tesla cannon. Thankfully, we get 3 kills, so we're up 2 right now. Up 3. And you can tank some of these with your Fortify, since your Fortify does give you reduced damage. You just got to be careful of your health, obviously. But you could also wait them out since nobody's there. I wouldn't suggest it most of the time, but if you absolutely have to, you can tank a couple of them. I wouldn't advise more than 2, normally. Because I think they do 200... I think they do 230 damage. Each mine does. So if you do Fortify, that'll probably do somewhere around 75%. So whatever 75% of 230 is. Like I said, don't go for more than 2. Trying to pull the Genji off. This is a bit rough because Genji can just use wall climb or double jump or even dash to get back up. So you have the right idea, but just be aware of the mobile heroes that they can pretty much get away with it. This Brig would be a perfect candidate because she can shield bash, and that's it. That's her mobility. So if you pull her off, I don't think she's going to be coming back up anytime soon. Here is not a bad spot to hold, especially if they are coming coast. You can easily get a pull off of half their team, and especially if they screw up their mobility, then you probably get a kill or 2. But you also kind of want to play back if they do have these mobile heroes, because they'll just speed right past or pretty much just jump over this door. You have no line of sight on them, and then they either come through the window or come through this extra door. So you pretty much have to play in the middle and kind of pick and choose your targets right in this little area. So you have Bongo. I would say probably right now is not a bad spot to use Bongo. But another thing you want to do is you want to hide it so everybody can use it, but also the enemy can't destroy it. So this Tracer is going to be real annoying if you put it down now, because she's probably just going to kill it right away. So you have to be very careful where you put this down. Behind your shield is probably the best place, but they destroy it pretty quickly. So honestly, since they do have a lot of mobile heroes, it's pretty difficult to put your Bongo really anywhere. So I guess the best spot you could put it is try to put it behind your shield, but then again, they're just going to destroy it really quickly. So you have to be careful where you want to put it, because they can pretty much just walk past your shield and be like, haha, you don't have your ultimate anymore. Our
Yeah.
Moira's being very toxic. Congratulations, we lost the point. Keep playing. So right now, since they have 5 people on point and you just lost Bongo, switch to ball, stall as long as you can. Not a bad pull, but again, you want to wait for Doomfist ultimate just so we can get most of the kills. And especially since they are dive and they're all grouped up like that, they have so much mobility. Using a Doomfist ultimate and an Orisa pull like that will pretty much win you the game. Since they can just jump right out of it. If you use pull and he ults right there, dude, instant win. That's a bit rough. You were kind of being bullied there. Oh, did you have any questions, by the way? I know I'm talking a lot.
No.
I know this is a lot of...
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
This can kind of be a little bit overwhelming, and you might have questions. So if you have anything, just stop me whenever.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, so this is fine. When you see the bubble in front of you, you can't shoot anybody, which sucks.
Yeah.
So you immediately switch to Winston, which is fine because you can't shoot anybody because you're inside the bubble. This is a really smart bubble by Monkey because I can't heal you through that bubble. I don't know if you knew that, but if he bubbles you and I try to use beat or I try to use my amp healing, I can't because there is a shield in front of you. That's
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah.
Same thing with Zen healing and all that. So you try to focus Monkey. You could try to focus the shield in order to get that healing, or you could try to focus Monkey. Focusing either is really fine because you either want to break line of sight or just kill the Monkey in general. So
Yeah.
it's a bit rough with decision making, you know. Focusing the Moira, I would say no, because she is constantly healing herself since she's in Coalescence. And focusing really anybody else while she's healing them is a bit sucky. So I would try to say, try to make her focus you specifically. So you could probably come, well, dang it. Plus our Moira is coming back with Coalescence. So you could try to make her, well, yeah. You could pretty much try to like, hey, focus me. You want her to focus a single target because she gets less value out of that way. What she's trying to do is she's trying to hit all of the other targets and heal up her target at the same time. The least value she gets is when she does not hit more than one target. If she hits one target, it's a wasted Coalescence. So you have to try to limit her line of sight. You have to try to limit who she hits. Genji's bullying you and you're shield dancing, which is good. You focus him because he's low. So one thing you want to do is kind of do this, right? You want to focus your targets. You have aim assist to help you out a lot. I'm not even moving my right stick now, and it's kind of, focusing on this target. But you do have to give in your own sort of movement with it. So one thing you can try to practice is just focusing on a stationary target and moving from right to left.
Yeah.
Another thing would be shield placements, because you can use the curvature of the shield to block as many line of sights as possible. It blocks that bot, it blocks this bot, and it gives you a general area to work with. So if I wanted to shoot him, oh wait, there's an enemy over here, he's not shooting me, I can just pull him off, whatever,
Yeah.
So I would say start with stationary targets just by moving around. Orisa is projectile based, so her bullets have travel time. So you do want to kind of lead your targets if they're further away, because you can't just aim at him and expect to hit anything. You have to kind of be up here in order to hit them in the head.
Yeah.
Obviously, for closer targets, you can kind of lead them a little bit less, but, you know. One thing that I would try to suggest doing is try putting your bongo behind a wall like this. This enemy can't shoot it. That enemy can't shoot it. So I'm just sitting right here while this is completely protected, where all my teammates are behind my shield, and you can use it to kill and have it not be destroyed as quickly as you want it to. Obviously, it works a bit different with dives since they can kind of just walk past your shield, but try to use your shield placement and any other natural cover to protect your bongo and your team.
Yeah.
One thing that you can do, probably can't do it here, but if you're holding a choke and say that you have enough time, you definitely don't want to do this in the middle of a fight, but you can throw your shield straight up. So in the middle of battle, while you're fighting, your shield's starting to get low. As you're starting to fight, bam, instant shield. So then you can pull, you can fortify, whatever, and then you have another instant shield as soon as, you know, the other one drops down.
Yeah.
Pulling targets to stop their mobility. Halt hook combos. Have you ever done a halt hook combo at all?
No.
No. Okay. Here, so actually, put your Orisa shield right in front of them, just to give you kind of an idea. So you want to pull above the Orisa shield, because that's where their Orisa is going to be. So kind of, yep. Go ahead. See how that's a little bit too low?
Yeah. They're a little bit higher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you want it to be above the Orisa shield, so so the hog, whoever it is, can get the targets. Yeah, so that would be perfect. Too bad that they're frozen. So pull as soon as you see it. Well, shoot, they don't come off the thing. Oh well. But you get the idea. As soon as you want to pull above the Orisa shield, you want to communicate to your hog, pulling in 3, 2, 1, pull. You pull, hog hooks, and then you want to focus that target as much as possible. Kill them, and then that'll be a quick win for you. Oh, there she is. Okay, so pull now. Okay, so what I want you to do, instead of pulling up in the air, that kind of gives it a big area to work around. What you want to do is you want to pull everybody to the ground. She's slept me twice now. She slept me 3 times. Can you kill her, please? Ready?
Yep.
Pull whenever. Boom. Easy as that.
Yeah.
If you can communicate that with your Doomfist, then you'll get a consistent 2 to 3 kills pretty much every match. Yeah, I would say practice your aim. Definitely. Practice. You don't want to get confused with your targets. You have a hard time, I would say, focusing certain characters. Focus the squishies. Don't worry about anybody who's going to be annoying like Hammond or Lucio. Unless they're obviously going to boop you, then you kind of have to worry about them. Pull towards the ground for anybody who uses any movement abilities. So like me, you want to stop me with your fortify once I punch. So you would want to use your gold then, and then pull me to the ground once I tried to use the rest of my abilities.
Yep.
So at the end of the video, I realized that I didn't get to cover the last thing that I wanted to cover, which was shield placement. I just wanted to put this in here just in case, but shield placement is very important because you need to know what you're shielding. If you're shielding just yourself, that's not a good enough shield. You want to be able to shield your entire team and know what you're shielding as far as damage that's coming towards you. You don't want to be shielding something stupid like one enemy out off the coast of whatever map it is. You got to know where to place your shield in order to cover as much space as possible to make enough room for your team and block the enemy projectiles that are going to be killing your team or trying to kill your team. So shield placement is everything. I just wanted to add that little bit in there at the end of the video. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.